Hey guys, this is Blur's Dream on the Scene, and you are now listening to part 2 of the Static commentary. In this part, we discuss musical influences, the local scene, and the gatekeeping that happens along with it, and Static's frustration with that. But overall, we just want to spread a positive message of community within the local scene. So hopefully you enjoy this rest of the discussion. Thanks for listening, and here you go.
Even with like Jim Morrison, even with Robert Smith, with a lot of artists that I like.
Connor Oberst from Bright Eyes, who he says you said The Cure is your favorite band.
Yes.
Bright Eyes, Connor Oberst, The Cure is his favorite band too, and you can hear it in his vocals. Like his voice cracks all the time.
Yeah.
That's part of the song. Like his like.
There's certain like levels to where it's like, okay, this person's feeling it so much of this. That he's putting it into the song, and it comes.
While he's singing. It's like, you don't.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that by hitting the notes perfectly. Like,
yeah.
You're just fucking singing it from deep down. Like,
yeah.
And that's why I love Bright Eyes, and he says The Cure is his favorite band too. Like, and you can hear it in the vocals. Like, it's just emotional. Like, it's just his voice is cracking. It's fucking epic. Like
the Rolling Stones could never. It's just one of those things.
I think Off that note,
that's a different genre.
All right.
Hold on.
Anyways, I just gotta say, you want to listen to Grit, listen to Can't You Hear Me Knocking, and you're gonna hear Mick Jagger at his greatest, Keith Richards at his greatest. You just hear so much grit, so much vibe, and that song was recorded in one take.
The Rolling Stones couldn't do Abbey Road. They just couldn't. They couldn't do the White
It doesn't
Album.
matter, It doesn't matter. I would take Exile on Main Street or
agreeable.
Fair enough,
But they're doing their own.
They're their own thing.
No.
Golden Slumbers is not.
Golden
happier.
Slumber. Are you really comparing Rolling Stones discography to Golden Slumbers?
Bro, you said Abbey Road. That's on Abbey Road.
Abbey.
Golden Slumbers.
Abbey Road.
That shit could
White
put me to
Album,
sleep.
Revolver.
You're the one that said Abbey Road. I'm sorry, but yeah, continue.
Not gonna lie,
it's just preferences.
Beatles put me to sleep, but I love the Beatles.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying the Beatles are bad in any way. I just say I prefer the Rolling Stones. I just prefer that grit that Mick Jagger has. And he just has a fucking charisma.
The Rolling Stones is sleazy ass rock and roll.
Yeah,
sure,
and
but
I love that.
The Beatles, the Beatles is like Taylor Swift.
It's like sex, drugs, and rock and roll is.
Yeah.
Okay, no. The Beatles is One Direction. Now, whatever One Direction was during their time, but like back then, you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I mean, look. I give the Rolling Stones credit for "Sympathy of the Devil," and "She's a Rainbow." "She's a Rainbow" is their best song.
No.
100%.
No.
"She's a Rainbow" is their best song. I don't give a fuck what you say. But the Beatles did so much more. Anyway.
There's more songs.
Anyway.
All right.
I don't think
He started it.
I always feel like I would just
Continue.
be more interested in going on a Rolling Stones binge than a Beatles binge. But
More
in the
diversity.
Beatles
You know why?
Because I grew up with Beatles.
Exactly.
And I heard all their songs.
Exactly. Because they're just that good.
So they
They're embedded.
I don't even have to give it
it's
to the
almost-
Beatles. Like they already have it.
It's almost
They don't
genetic.
need my fucking approval. Yeah, seriously, Beatles is almost genetic.
Beatles is almost
Whereas like
genetic.
Rolling Stones is a little bit more edgier on the
Yeah.
wild side, and so it's like okay, like I want to listen to that a little bit.
And
more,
I like the Rolling Stones. That's the thing. I do like the Rolling Stones.
But I mean, if it came down to how many Beatles songs I know compared to how many, I know
no.
fucking 100 Beatles songs by heart. Like it's ridiculous.
It's okay, Sebi. It's okay.
It's fine. I'm fine. I just said I like the Beatles. I don't hate the Beatles.
Can
I
the
like
Rolling
Beatles.
Stones make Yellow Submarine?
I honestly, I
can
could
make
go.
Yellow
I
Submarine.
could go without that.
Yeah,
I'm
anybody
sorry,
can make
I can
Yellow
go without that. So, yeah. My girlfriend likes what's that fucking Ringo song? Octopus's Garden. It's
Octopussy? Wait, what?
a
Everyone
good
hates
catchy
that song.
No,
But I
it's a good
fucking love
catchy
that
song,
song.
but
Like
I
to
could
be-
go living
Oh,
without
dude,
it.
this
If y'all want Static,
I would say it's
Yellow
the best Beatles
Submarine, comment down below. Drop all that
People
shit
going
right now.
fucking
Yellow
tomatoes.
Submarine's kind of.
But like she's so heavy. The Let It Be sessions. I like those
I don't
Let It
like
Be
the
sessions.
heavy, sad, trippy Beatles. Like I want to hold your hand.
Ye-
I like
Yeah, because that's
fucking-
like
The corny ones.
You know what?
The corny
Let me put
Beatles.
you onto the best Beatles
Close
Rolling
your
Stones
eyes
collab.
and I'll kiss you
The Dirty Mac, you got John Lennon
John
on the,
Lennon, yeah.
John Lennon, you got Keith Richards on fucking bass,
Dude, that
which
was,
is fucking crazy. You got Eric Clapton on guitar and Mitch Mitchell
That was
on
the collab
drums.
of all time.
That's crazy. Your Blues, that's a fucking banger, dude. I'm sorry,
What's
but
that
that's
super
probably like one of the best.
That
It's
is-
better than the Beatles version for sure. That version.
No, I agree. That was a good version.
Yeah.
What's that super group called?
Dirty Mac.
The Dirty Mac.
Yeah.
Then when did they form?
They only played for this like music.
This was a movie,
Like yeah, it was just like a TV, not a TV special, like a just like a movie, like
a special.
Yeah, like a special, like a TV special. I don't know, fucking DVD special, whatever they had, video special. It was a Rock and Roll Circus by the Rolling Stones, and the Rolling Stones played. They still had Brian Jones then, but I think that Dirty Mac like blew him out of the water. You know, like
Yeah, that
just
was a
in
very
terms
good
like
version.
how can you like compare? You know, Eric Clapton at his prime. You know, racist. You know, fuck him. But you know, like he's a good guitar player, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he's super
man, like,
fucking
established
racist.
in sense.
Yeah, he's super racist. He's anti-COVID, you know, all that stuff.
Fucking-
Yeah.
he fucking stole his homie's wife type shit. But
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you know. Layla, hey, that's crazy, bro. No, I'm sorry. We're going off on a tangent, but you know, yeah. Layla and something written after the same girl, that's pretty fucking
Wait,
crazy, bro. Two
that-
bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love something. Something is a good ass George Harrison song.
Yes, that song is amazing.
I love George. George Harrison is my favorite Beatle.
Seriously.
My favorite
George
Beatle.
Harrison wrote the best songs as a solo artist.
No,
I
you
think.
don't. That's crazy. Yeah, because he was
I
a
like Paul
successful
McCartney more.
solo
Yeah,
artist
I like Paul
compared
McCartney
to
too.
Paul McCartney. John Lennon could like fucking suck dick. George Harrison made a good ass solo album. Period.
Yeah, George Harrison was legit, like as fuck.
Hey, but how do you sleep, John Lennon?
Fuck that
that
motherfucker.
song's a banger, bro.
Bro, he
I'm
get
sorry.
two- he could
That's
get
a
two-
fucking
It's a banger.
banger
It's a
diss
banger.
track. I'm
John
sorry.
Lennon could get two in the head right now.
He did get two. He got two in the chest or two in the head. I don't know, but I'm sorry, bro.
It's a catch
But
in the
woman
rat
beater,
race,
wife
you
beater.
know.
Yeah,
He get two
It
of his
is what it
nuts
is.
on his head.
yeah, he got. Sorry, karma, bro.
I wanna take a second
That's the
to.
guy who sang the most about karma.
Oh shit.
I wanna take a second. I wanna take a second to talk about other bands that are in the scene and the scene in general.
Sure.
I think
Like fuck all of them.
No,
Static's number one.
No, we're not like that. Come
No,
on.
no, I'm
we gotta give our
Nah.
props.
I know. I'm just
Burn
kidding. I'm
down
just
all
kidding.
the
we love
bridges.
everyone.
It was a bad
we
joke.
we really do appreciate the bands that are in the scene at especially the ones that were there when we first got there. It's just like we had no
Like who?
The
Cosmic
Hazards.
Kin, the Hazards.
Yeah.
You know, though I think those two bands probably are the main two that we kind of look to, especially just.
I asked all of you guys to play at my birthday show, and you guys all said no. So.
Oh,
I
sorry,
was pretty.
MJ.
It was August 3rd, but
August 3rd. That's my birthday. Nah, psych.
no, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Um,
I did ask you guys, and you guys did say no.
I want to. I just there's so many bands right now that I think could definitely just. You look at Flesh for Fantasy, Static, Decades. I mean, shit. You could even look to Wednesdays and Spunk and just be like, oh my god, these bands are like. There's a sense of separation. And it sucks because you feel like. Some bands are in groups with other people, and some bands are, there's cliques and there's, high standards of entry,
Yeah.
And, one of the things I think I want to start, I want to promote just myself now that I've been around for, a little bit, because I really haven't been around for that long. We haven't been around for that long. But for the time that we've been around, I think it's one of those things where it's like, I want to be able to include people and be able to have these connections with other bands, and it seems so like divided.
Yeah.
It seems really divided, really harsh. There's no sympathy from other bands.
Yeah, if it
None.
could feel like a community, like much, like it feels a lot like a clique,
Yeah.
Like which friend group can we like really, be
a
cool
part
with,
of
you know?
Yeah.
But
And it's
when it
like,
could be like a big community.
yeah, and it's one of the things where it's like, okay, well, how do we remedy that? Okay, let's throw our own shows. The bands that we invite, let's just keep them, let's keep them so that we can form these connections and create these relationships with them. And that's what we're about. That at the end of the day, when we throw shows, it's for the audience. 100% it's for the audience. It's for the people that pay to come in. That's for the people that show up. It's for the people that are willing to commit to liking a band that has fucking 4 monthly listeners on Spotify, you know?
Yeah.
It's the relationships with the bands that I think can really pull.
Yeah.
It's that's what's important. Because you look at punk when it first came about in like 77 and then the couple years following. You had this big clique of Susie Sue,
Everyone
the
knew
Sex
each other.
Pistols. Everyone knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they went their own separate ways, but they all were like this. They were like they were locked in with each other, and they had these relationships with each other. That's what needs to happen again.
Yeah.
I think we're in this part of time where it's very lackluster, the relationships that bands have with each other, and it's very like, you know, territorial, and it's
competition.
The competition.
Why
but
is
it's
it like that? You know what I mean? Like, why is it like that?
That's the thing. I don't know, because it's just like
low key just having this conversation on the way.
No, but like
here
this is the
about, like,
conversation of like all time. You know, like why are all the bands so divided? You know,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Are you too cool? Are we too cool? Are we
can
too
all
sexy?
be
Are
that-
you too sexy?
It's that maybe
You know,
they
are we
don't
like the
want you-
fucking?
Blame
Are we
Owen.
looking
It's
like a
that
boy
maybe-
band? You know what I mean? Like,
It's that maybe they don't want you to be better than them, or they're maybe like a band is like doesn't want to sing your praises and give you your credit, because then they feel like that's taking away from them.
okay, but
Like,
it's not a
but
fucking
it shouldn't-
competition. You
no,
know,
I'm
like
not saying that
no,
it's right. I'm
but
just
it's not a
saying that's how
competition. You know, like
people are,
they
like-
people like you know, it's a game. You know, like all around, it's a game.
I just think that like one lead singer from another band
Yeah.
is gonna look at you, Owen, and be like, "Oh, I'm jealous because like he brought a slightly bigger crowd today than I did." Like,
and
even though he might like your music
He
and
brought
think
more
your
girls.
shit's tight, you know? Huh?
Oh, he brought more girls to the.
Yeah, he
to the
brought
show.
more, you know, like whatever it is.
Well, that's
like,
what that's on us. That's
I
on
think
them.
that's fine though.
But if you guys were to play the same show, then now they're all there at the same show. Like,
Yeah.
it's
they
not
should-
even
you should
it's not
come
even
together
about
as
that.
opposed
It's
to,
just
like,
it's
being-
just you know,
I know, but I'm just saying. That's my theory. Is that's why I think people are a bit more competitive. I'm not saying that's how it should be.
No, I mean
or that's okay.
we look at the
but-
different outcomes. You know, like
Yeah.
of course, like we see that. You know, we try to like think about it. You know, like sure we might bring
I
more
just think
girls.
everyone is like.
You might bring
worried
more
that-
guys.
Yeah.
So fucking
I
what?
just think a lot of people are worried if I don't get mine, then no one else should get theirs either. When they don't realize like we can all share this like amazing show together.
See-
if we just hyped each other up, but it's like it's not. Oh, come see me and these other cool bands. It's like come
Right.
see me. Like, and it should be more.
You know-
let's all of us like we're doing this like together.
and there is a sense of where it's like you see certain bands being like, okay, let's do this together, let's pull this
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
And you kind of look a little deeper, and they all run in the same clique, or they're all connected in some way, and you sense this animosity, and it's just like, well, how do
Bruh.
we solve this problem? And it's like you want to try to solve the problem by asking them, let's get on, let's do a show together, let's do this together.
But they're not receptive.
and they're not receptive to it because they're territorial. They're this
It's
and that.
gate kept.
And it's just like, okay, how do we fix this? How do we resolve this issue? Because I think it is an issue. I genuinely do think it's an issue. Yeah, I'd love to have shows with people that are super different than us. That's the whole point.
Yeah, because like I guess
Gotcha.
our thing is we're trying to build a community. Everyone else's thing is just like let's build our community. Oh wait, not you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's very selective. It's just like, okay, you have the right to be selective. I'm not bashing on you. I'm not saying okay, but it's like, what exactly are we trying to do here?
Just be more.
What's the angle with this whole
Yeah,
thing? Where
yeah.
are we trying to go? And it's like, okay, let's do something great. Let's throw the show the fucking year,
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
get together and do something about it.
Have you ever seen like those flyers where it's like a huge festival of bands and you've never even heard of any of the bands on
Yeah.
there? How did they do that? It's because they must all be in a community somewhere. Like
Yeah.
they must have all decided, hey, like all of us small bands are gonna get together and do this giant fest together. Like
and that's what we think the solution is.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, at the level that we're at, you know, it's like a wrestling ring. We're wrestling with the bottom of the barrel, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, let's do something together.
Yeah.
Let's do something together. Let's put
Like,
ourselves
we got
out there.
30 of us fucking bands on, like, who are all kind of on our level.
Sure.
We got 30 of us together and planned a fest for next summer.
Sure.
That fest would be fucking lit.
It would. It would.
be sick.
100%.
Yeah.
I'd love
And
to
I've
have
had
these
people
bands.
tell me, no, that's not a good idea. Like, because you need, like, headliners. You need bands way above us. And I'm like, well, if there's 30 of us and we're all, like, kind of, like, friends with each other, then, like, we're going to have a shitload of people come out.
The whole thing is it's based off of, like, this weird mental algorithm where it's just like you put yourself above other people, and it's like it takes a second to kind of like, okay, wait a second, let me bring myself down and bring myself to this point where it's like, okay, how do we connect with people? How do we bring interest? How do we attract attention? How do we do the things that we want to do for ourselves as bands and as artists, yet provide for people? And that's where I think putting a really just good show comes from. The idea of being able to say, okay, we have these bands, we have this band, this band, this band, and this band.
This cool ass spot,
At
all
this,
these
at
vendors.
this venue, and
Yeah.
it's just, there's something really just beautiful about that.
Yeah.
And I think too many people are selective and closed-minded to that. I think too many people can really just not agree with that.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And I mean, look, I've been around for not that long. We really have, as a band, Statik has not been around for a fraction of the time some of these other bands have been around. Statik is I still consider relatively new.
Yeah.
We aren't, veterans whatsoever.
What year did you guys start?
Me and my brother started late 2019,
Yeah.
Okay.
going into 2020, but 2021 was
We
when
started.
we first got Carlos.
Yeah,
And
but
we
even then, me joining, I was relatively new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'cause he
And
he had his own group.
Yeah.
And
But
we
like,
s-
P
saw
for
them.
Disaster, shout out.
no, it was some other old project,
shit.
but
Yeah.
but
We
shout
actually
out
saw
Recipe
them.
too.
Shout out Recipe.
But even then, like, I wasn't like I mean, for like maybe the first couple months, I was putting Statik onto like their first shows.
Mm-hmm.
But like from then, that's when we started building up our own, audience, and like promoters started messaging us like, yo, play for this show, play for this show. Type shit.
And that's, I feel a certain way about promoters, especially promoters who are very I don't know the proper word. Promoters who are just,
Cover.
they're not in it,
Yeah, it's
They're
just
very-
you're just a commodity to them. Like,
Exactly.
oh, okay.
They're just
you
like-
bring, okay, cool, but they don't really care about
No,
what
they
you're
don't.
bringing.
No,
Like,
exactly.
it's
We're
like
pretty
spring
much
people.
like a cover,
Mm.
like, yo, someone
Oh,
Yep.
someone dropped out. Like you
cover the
guys
spot. And
cover
like
them.
that was the only spot we could take because we were new. Well,
Yeah.
we were new.
That's why it's
That was
important to
pretty
set
long.
your own shows up. That's why I've always encouraged DIY. It's like, find a spot to do it and just do it there. Like,
exactly. And
it
you
could
know,
be in a fucking little
If you-
barn in the middle of nowhere. Just do it.
I mean, shit. Franz
'Cause you're
Ferdinand.
gonna sit around wait for House of Blues to give you permission to come play. Like,
Yeah, Franz Ferdinand found a warehouse somewhere in fucking, I think, Ireland,
yeah,
and they just started throwing shows in there and shows.
that's
and
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's how they built it.
No,
So
and
it's
it-
like you gotta be open to being able to just.
So many other people would see that warehouse and be like, "Oh, fuck this piece of shit place! Like,
Exactly.
we can't do a show here." But it's like you have to be able to see the invisible. Like, you have to be able to. Oh no, the band could be right there, speakers right here, lights right there.
You know what?
But other people would
That's
look
how
at
we
it
see
and
the
be
lot.
Like, oh,
That's how we see the lot.
Yeah.
The lot is our home.
thanks, man.
The lot, for much of our for the most time we've been playing live. The lot.
A lot of times,
lot.
dude, people like when they get there, they're just like, "This is it." Like,
They don't
what
know,
the fuck?
but they
Like,
don't know.
But then as the night goes
they've never
on
stayed.
and the vibe is there, then they're like,
They've
"Oh,
never
shit,"
stayed for the
like,
show.
They can't see the invisible. Like, it's all there. Like, the band's gonna play right here. People are gonna mosh right here.
Yeah.
Vendors, but they can't see it because it's not there yet.
And that's what we hope for the lot to eventually just
Yeah, I want that too. Like, I'm gonna find a really legit spot one day, and everything I do at the lot, I'm just gonna do it there, and it'll just be right there in front of everybody, and they'll just, like, oh, anyone could do it. Like, yeah, but did you do it? Like, did you make it happen? Like,
it's one of those things where it's like you want to be able to have those stories, those connections, those memories of this one place where just bands came together. Bands like just come together and have this
Make something beautiful.
exactly.
Yeah. And think about like your living room. How cool this show is that we're commenting on right now. Like how good of a turnout that was. But at the end of the day, it's just a living room, and most people will never see it as possible to do a show there.
Yeah.
But because to them, it's just a living room.
Which is what I thought a lot of people would think.
But look what happened. Yeah. Look at how good the show was. Like,
Yeah.
Look
It
at
was a very good show.
and it was because you fucking willed that shit into being. Like you fucking visualized it and then saw it through.
No,
and
the
you
thing
could do
is-
that with any blank space out there. There's a million blank spaces out there in the world. Just find one and throw a fucking show there.
Yeah, no, the thing is, we didn't visualize it. We were just like, we're having a party, but we're also playing music. But the
Yeah.
party was just too big. And we just happened to play music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look,
But it turned out sick. And
it's ideally, and I think one of the biggest things for me right now, me personally, as a person, as someone who enjoys music, enjoys the scene, enjoys dealing with the people within it, bringing bands together, Flesh Your Fantasy, The Digs, right now we're playing shows with American Woman, with Coca, with, you want to bring in more bands and deal with people and say, okay, where can we connect? Where can we come together as not just bands, but just people who enjoy music, who enjoy performing, who enjoy it's an art.
Mm-hmm.
How can we bring this together? How can we bring this into this, wherever the fuck it is, but just to be able to have that, I think is incredible.
yeah.
It raises so much awareness and just so much, it's dedication to an art. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The art isn't just writing music and coming up with.
Oh no, it's
No.
way beyond that.
It's so much bigger than that. The art is the community. It's
Yeah.
the audience, the bands. It's
Yeah.
it's all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have personalities within it. You have bands within it. You have the audience within it. You have vendors within
Like
it.
respecting other people's personalities and what they bring.
Exactly.
If someone has a name that they want to go by, a nickname, you call them by that name because that's their art name and stuff. I found it's a lot of just really respecting where people come from, like
Yeah.
what their vision is, and you're like, oh, I know this guy. He's a photographer by this name, so I'm gonna call him that. Like, and when I introduce him to my friends, I'm gonna say, hey, this is my photographer friend who goes by the name of blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
And in other bands too, it's like when you meet a guy in another band, and you're like, yeah, this is my friend, the singer from this band. That's what you automatically know him as. Like,
Yeah.
And just that, I feel like, goes a long way. Like really respecting people for what they're trying to be or
Yeah.
what they want to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
and giving them that, like when I
Well,
don't
no.
just think Owen. I think Owen, the singer from Static. Like,
Yeah.
that's part of it. I
It's
don't
not-
just think Owen. I think
you're
Owen.
not necessarily giving them anything. I don't think you're giving them anything because what they
respect.
what they perceive is what they own and what they are and who they believe themselves to be, and you're just there.
Yeah.
You're just there experiencing this whole thing, and that's what's beautiful about it. The fact that you can stand in the middle of, let's just say, the living room show that we threw. You're standing in the middle of that, and you're experiencing something that isn't, it might not be fucking Lollapalooza. It might not be Coachella. It might not be this big show that, you pay hundreds of dollars to fucking to host. It's not. It's none of that. It's much more significant.
Yeah,
it's much more
way
personal.
more significant, yeah.
It's much more
If they don't
personal.
see it that way, then it's nothing.
Exactly. You're listening to someone who could have possibly come from the same circumstances as you as a
But the same
person,
neighborhood
and
of someone who did play the fucking
sure.
it's like, and it's all about that. I'm sorry, I'm not even talking to the mic, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because. Well, I mean, you hear fucking Cypress Hill. He's from Southgate. Slayer's from Southgate.
dude.
That's fucking
Like,
crazy. They went to
where-
the same high school I went to.
Where's,
the fuck?
where's
Like,
Cypress Hill? Like,
Travis
not even
Barker went to the
over
high school
there.
right down the
Couple
street
blocks
from my
down
house.
there.
couple
Yeah,
blocks
dude,
down
that's
where
crazy.
we're
You're in fucking
fucking
LA,
recording
which
this shit
is
right now.
No,
craziest
I'm from
part
LA.
of.
I was raised in anyway, so like.
All right,
Now
Southern
I live-
California. Let's
right.
generalize it. You know.
Yeah,
All
no
right,
problem.
we're from the same place.
There's
Southern
so
California.
much
Right,
history.
yeah.
So
So many
much
great
history.
musicians
No.
came from out here. Like, and like it's all about like just really respecting each other and where we're coming from, like knowing like, oh yeah, like you want to be a great singer and frontman just as much as Carlos does, and why shouldn't you guys respect each other in that way? I want to be an amazing drummer, so does your brother, like, and we respect each other in that way, and that's really all it takes to hype each other up. Like when we play a show together, we're just gonna be like, yo, not only come see my band, but come see my fucking homies because they're fucking sick too. Like,
yeah, you want to build this community, you want to build these connections, you want to build relationships. What the one thing I'm most interested in when it comes to being in a band, especially as a fucking singer of a band, because I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but for me at least, you want to build those connections. You want to build those connections with other people, with singers, with audience members, with photographers, with audio people, with lighting. You want to build the connections. Who cares if they benefit you or not? You get to meet people who, do something that they love for a living. And
that's what you have in common.
And exactly.
Both doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. You get to meet the people who are dedicating themselves to this art and this project that they will be dedicating themselves for as long as they care for it.
Yeah.
And as long as they care for it, then that's where the relativity comes in. Yeah. Someone who cares just as much about being a singer, being a great guitarist, being a great bassist, being a great drummer, has just as much in common as me who wants to be a great singer.
Yeah, like honestly, this is like
exactly, man.
Like, like aside from all like the music and shit, this is all like a whole like kickback. We're all like homies just trying to like make it out together. We don't really care where we all came from or like what kind of talent you got. Like we're all drinking together in the end, we're all gonna see each other at the end of the show, drunk as fuck. We're gonna pick you up. Oh, you're the drummer from that band? Oh shit, picking you up, putting you to the side. Like we don't care, like we're all like homies in the end type shit, like we're all trying to like whether you're like this or that, like we're all trying to get to know each other and like really like fuck with each other.
I guess to end off on like a note.
Yeah. Because we're approaching the end right now.
Yeah.
If we've had a good conversation here, I think we're wrapping it up really nicely because we're really getting to the heart of everything, which is like all it is like us coming together and fucking making this shit happen. Like
to see, not even there's emo scene, there's a hardcore scene, there's a punk scene, there's an alt scene, whatever. To see it just be unified.
Yeah, because it's all the same, dude.
To be unified.
It really is all the same.
It's the same struggle.
Like, there's no point in gatekeeping your genre. It's all the same. We're all just fucking living broke, trying to make our bands happen because we don't want to fucking do this shit job that we have forever.
Yeah, fuck that job.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
It's like if you have a dream and you have the means to enact that dream, you dream of being a lead singer, you have the means to it. Regardless of the level that you make it, who cares? Who cares?
Just do it.
You're
That's
doing
what you
something
want to
that
do.
You're doing something that you love, that you enjoy doing. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, competition is fun. Friendly competition is fun.
Friendly.
I agree. Yeah.
But like,
that seems
when
hostile.
you're not helping the band before you, or when you're not helping the band in front of you, or when that band is not helping you, it feels like like. It's not even fun anymore,
It's like, why the fuck are we here?
If the Rolling Stones
and
the Beatles could be homies,
it's just like,
we could be homies.
It's just like, they're not even giving you the props,
Right.
Like, you're my heroes. You're not even giving me the props.
Right,
I'm not like there's no respect in between.
Yeah.
And it's like, I go to some of these shows. Like, I tried my best to make an effort to make some of these shows, make connections, and try to go and do whatever I can. And it's just like,
it's an uphill battle.
Sure. And there's beauty in that.
Yeah.
There's just,
we're all gonna, I think the right ones are gonna come together. We're gonna just like now,
that's how I've done it.
This is a really great episode, I think, because it was just we all knew what we were talking about. Like,
we were also drunk.
Brought to you by Cutwater.
Brought to you by Cutwater.
But we're all really positive, absolutely sure,
100%
that this is just what we're gonna do for life.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're just gonna play music. We're gonna get old. We're gonna rust together.
Exactly.
Look. Let me say.
We're all gonna be 69.
Let me say that. Look, this is the conversation that the LA scene never wanted to have.
Yeah.
Listen to it
Yeah.
on
No
Blur's
one.
Stream.
On
YouTube.
Blur's Stream,
No one ever wanted to
Spotify,
talk
maybe
that
Spotify
there's
coming soon,
fucking,
Spotify,
know,
maybe?
there's
I'll put it on
cliques in
there.
the
Season one.
I
scene.
don't
You
give
know,
a
there's
fuck. Put it on
fucking.
there.
We're all divided. No one talks about it.
This is like a
YOLO.
2-hour long.
No one talks about it.
Play the next Static
No,
song.
that's.
I mean,
I think we're good, right?
You know,
Static.
cut it in half, release it in
Yeah.
two
Yeah,
parts.
Cut that shit in half.
two parts.
Yeah,
Part
okay.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Statik.
Nah, but real shit.
But that's
Like,
yeah,
The LA scene is fucked up. We just happen to be in it. You know what I mean?
yeah. You're kind of just stuck to wherever you're stuck to, and the way I've always done it is just kind of like it's whoever's nice to me. That's literally how I
But like,
like
we
operate.
hope whatever Static does in the music scene, we hope to cleanse it in some type of
Yeah,
way.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, man.
Lit.
I never understood the competition. I never understood the too cool for school attitude. And when bands treat me like that, I'm just like, all right, dog, that's it. Like, I'm going home. Like, I don't care.
You know,
I don't give a
and
fuck. You know?
it sucks because I don't have, for some reason I can't just like, I can't do that.
Okay.
I can't say, you know, I'm just gonna go home. You know, like, you know, I can't do that. I genuinely want to try to like connect some of these bands and make the connections with people, because that's, again, as a person, that's what I find the most beautiful. To be able to make the connections with people, to have the connections, to have the relationships with other bands, other people. That's what I find the most beautiful out of this whole thing. If, you know, music or no music, the fact that you're making these relationships with people and connecting on a level that isn't so superficial, I think is just part of the whole thing. For me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I want to have fun. That's the end of the day. I just want to have fun, like not feel like there's people out there trying to like see, like watch me like fall.
No,
like,
for sure.
That's for sure.
And
It's
we're
just-
lucky that bands, you know, give us the type of guidance, you know, that we seek for.
Yeah.
And we hope that, you know, like it's full circle, you know, like the digs, the hazards, you know, the hazards helping us and like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I've associated with your guys' band all the time is like Static Hazards. Like just in my mind, it's always been like that.
They're basically like older brothers to us, like as a band.
Stazzards.
Yeah, Stazzards.
Flesh for Fantasy and all that, you know, like
Flesh.
like
Exactly.
like bands that we're glad to be like, all right, this is our own community, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're building, you know, because this is
Yeah.
like the Static community that we're building.
That's tight. Yeah, no, I'll say Flesh. When it comes to Julian, like nicest dude I've ever
Julian's
fucking met.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's just crazy.
Biggest
man.
compliment I have for him.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Nicest guy ever.
Dude,
met.
Julian is
I
a fucking G,
so
bro.
here
Very
check this
nice.
out. Check this out. Me, Zach from Cosmic Kitten, and June all went to the same high school.
Oh shit.
And me.
At
And
different
Liam.
times.
Yeah.
Different times.
Yeah. We all were within maybe like 5 years of each other.
Shit.
5-6 years. We all went to the same high school.
Damn. What was that high school?
Shit.
That was Warren High School.
in
I
Downey.
think I'm
Downey.
like 80% sure Zach went to Warren.
Warren.
Like
feel
80%.
he did talk about it though.
I feel like I remember a conversation where he confirmed it, but
Confirm it in
wrong-
the comment section.
if I'm
Zach,
wrong,
please,
I'm
por
sorry.
favor.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
cool. I mean, I got the Doors shit wrong, and that was really bad. That was really fucking embarrassing.
Look,
You know?
you know, it
That's
made
cool.
content. It made content for us to, you know, talk about it.
Laugh
And
about it.
Now that's funny because we were gonna like keep it like a thing going on. We're just like, hey yo, new single dropping
single,
to
5-1,
5-1.
5-1. You got nothing on this, man. For real. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. The 3 generations. So Zach's like the oldest that went to.
I believe so.
Warren.
Then it's June and it's me and then Liam.
So you're younger than June?
I think so.
Yeah, I think by like
Maybe a
2
year or two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not by much, but
But then if he was a year or two, so you guys were at the same school at the same time?
yeah.
But you
I
guys didn't know
I
each
didn't
other?
get to know him until way after high school.
Oh, okay.
I've only recently really been able to connect with him,
Mm.
and he's an amazing guy. He's super nice.
Yeah.
stand-up guy.
Yeah, that you know, the entire Flesh for Fantasy as a band
Yeah.
are some of the nicest people, some of the most
For real.
dedicated people that
It's-
I can.
It's one of those things where like I just can sense an ego whenever I like talk to somebody. I'm just like,
Sure.
oh, I'm talking to the fucking character. I'm not
Yeah.
talking to the actual person. I'm talking to
Yeah.
their fucking who they think they are.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's just like with them, it was just like, holy shit. Like, they just made me feel like the homie. Like, they're just like, yeah, come through. Just film our set, dude. Like, totally. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like it was easy to film them because of how nice they were. And because of how, like, inviting it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we met them. And that's how we try to come off as, too. Because we're just like,
yeah,
we're all just fucking homies here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I can't really name, like, there's no bad blood between anyone. At least on my end.
Yeah. I mean, you never know with certain people. Like, just like, you never know. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe somebody's like secretly, but you know.
I mean, but that's
in their head. That's them. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Always.
That one promoter.
Which one?
From Compton.
Oh.
There's always going to be people who are super jealous.
Cut it
but
off.
they don't know the promoter.
We
you know
don't
what I mean?
know. Yeah, just some promoter.
Cut it off.
Sorry, but there's going to be a lot of jealous people. Huh?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just saying.
I don't.
Like, you're saying, like, you know, you don't have any bad blood toward anyone, but, like, those people, some people are going to have, like,
I mean,
bad blood
someone's
toward you.
always going to feel, like, against how we feel. You know what I
Or
mean?
slighted
Yeah, I
in
mean,
some
people
weird
take
way.
shit the wrong way, you know.
Like, at the end of the video,
Misunderstanding or whatever,
someone's going to
you
feel
never
some
know.
type of way, like,
For sure.
about what Owen said, you know?
Sure.
Exactly.
But, you know,
Fuck it.
I
guess.
can't be more true to myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I really, I try. I've tried to put my best foot forward. You know, when it comes to dealing with other people, with dealing with bands and dealing with, you know, sometimes you just they don't take you the way you want. You'd hope to be taken.
If you're like, sometimes I'd be like saying like, oh, like good show, thanks, and they leave. And it's like,
Yeah, I mean,
There's,
like,
like,
most
nothing
times
from
it's just
a-
like people are awkward, but like, what can you do? You know what I mean?
You can't, and you just
Or
kind of
s-
have to roll with the punches and just be
Yeah.
like, okay, well,
Because I mean, like, we're like, I mean, we're awkward people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're trying to be friends,
Yeah.
but like, no, how do I say hi to a person that doesn't want to say hi? You know what I mean?
Introverts, bro.
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
is
So like you were saying, like you go up to someone and you say, "Hey, nice show." Like, isn't that like what they kind of wanted? Isn't it, like
yeah, but
Do you know? Don't you kind of like
It's not ingenuine
want to
because
be
like we're just
appreciated
like
for your work? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's not like ingenuine in any way because we're just like, yo, good show. You know what I
yo,
mean?
great show. Let me borrow your amp for my
Type
Yeah.
shit. No, but like we're just like great show. You know?
Just
And
because, yeah.
that's an
we enjoyed
opportunity
it.
for the other band to be like, yo, like thank you. You know, like let's work together for another show.
Mhm.
But
See,
that never happens.
it doesn't always
That hardly
work that way.
happens.
I think it's gotten worse since we started that whole thing. Because, like, I remember when we first started doing shows, everyone was really nice and everyone was, like, very approachable.
Yeah, like networking before was so hard. Like, you know, starting off at like
well, it was easier. I think.
You
Yeah.
think so?
I think it was easier to network when we first started about 2.5 years ago.
but now that you guys are getting good, people are like, "Oh no, you can't come to our show."
Yeah,
Like, you're gonna
and
show
I don't
us
know
up,
what I don't know.
like-
I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna attest for other people. I'm not gonna share the experiences of other people that they might have of us.
We're still that same band.
But
yeah.
I would definitely love to see bands coming together and just being able to fight off the hindrances. You know.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, like bands like the Digs, I talk to Andrew myself, and I'm just like, we're trying to come up with ideas on how we're trying to like better ourselves. You know what I mean? Like what we can both do together to kind of just like make things interesting and like how to like, you know, because we're like helping each other. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
And like we trying to like spread it like across like the community itself, and you know, like other bands that we play with. Exactly. You know.
Sure.
There's bands that I have so much respect for, but they wouldn't know because they don't deal with us. They
Yeah,
don't.
they don't care.
They don't talk. They don't talk. They don't talk to us.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
we're not scared.
We have the
bro. We're
most-
trying to say hi.
Yeah, we have a lot of respect for bands.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I mean, I don't know if I
'Cause
should.
you know that you're all in the same boat. Really, it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
genre you're in. You're all
Yeah.
trying to do the same
and
thing.
the fact
like-
that some of these bands are able to do the things that they're able to do,
Yeah.
or the fact that they're able to perform the way they perform, or play music the way they play music.
Like, is there any
It's like-
association with like anyone that we have? We're just like, nah. We're just trying to like have a few drinks,
Uh-huh.
chill with us, and then if you don't fuck with us, then you don't fuck with us. You know what I mean? but
Yeah, just keep it pushing.
You never even tried to like actually hang out with
And
us.
honestly, dude, like I have to like give you a lot of credit for encouraging me to do the lot, like, and specifically Recipe for Disaster. Like I remember doing a lot of shows, but it was Recipe for Disaster. It was Toxic. Shout out to fucking Toxic. And you for always hitting me up and
The homie
just,
Murder.
Yeah,
He was putting it on too.
and just being like, yo, the lot's tight, let's do another show. And I was like, oh shit, all right, like shit, if everyone is stoked with it, like let's do it. And because when I first started off, I was like, oh man, like maybe I shouldn't do this kind of shit, but I honestly feel like Recipe for Disaster was one of the first bands to be like in my face with like, dude, keep doing this shit, this is where it's at. And so that's why I'll always love you and Recipes for Disaster, dude, because you guys really drilled it in my head that this is where it's at. Like you know, and you guys were always like nice and kind about things. And so I wish Recipe for Disaster was still a band. Like, and I remember Toxic just being the dude who was opening up the pit, and you guys just killed it every time. Like, and
Yeah,
it really gave me that sense of like, oh shit, people care about this shit. Like, it's not just me trying to do this so I can have something under my belt. Like, there's people who are also benefiting from this. Like,
nah,
there are
dude, for
people who
sure.
give a
Like I
shit,
saw
like-
potential in the lie, like a lot of potential in
Yeah,
the
dude.
lie. You know.
I'm always gonna remember Recipe for Disaster as one of the first bands to really stand behind the lot. Like, so thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Oh, that's what's up.
Anyway, I think we should end it here before I end up going on an even longer tangent.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a sick ass episode,
Yeah, that's very cool.
but all good things must end.
Exactly.
Hey, there'll be other shows. There'll be other commentaries.
With that being said, Static is going on a
season
hiatus.
2. Static season 2, baby.
With that being said, Static is breaking up for the next one.
Static is breaking up after this
We'd like to
Halloween
make
show.
an announcement.
We all
Not
hate
but
each
for
other,
real.
but yeah,
Not
for
but for real.
Our last show is Noise Fest. All other shows.
Our last show is Noise
canceled.
Fest.
Noise Fest.
Because me and
August
Liam
31st.
are
Just say that, just to get people.
The band is breaking up.
Yeah, this is the last chance to see
Just
Static.
like the Beatles
A
were
week
breaking
later,
up.
you're like, oh yeah, come see us at fucking Viper Room.
Oh yeah.
at every show.
Thank you to Blur's Dream,
Thank you,
Blur's,
Blurs.
Jay
and-
the lot.
and
Always
MJ
making
and the
it
lot.
happen.
And
Thank you,
Shout out-
Static.
Shout out Blur's Dream and MJ for real, dude.
As soon as the mics cut off, we're all gonna start sucking each other's dicks.
69.
That's how appreciative we are.
Everybody
The-
say Hawk 2 on 2.
Hawk, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I guess that's how we're gonna.
I
end
said
it.
on 2.
Oh, so
Yeah,
on
there's
2.
something else.
On Tua. Okay.
All right. Thanks. for
Static Noise
listening.
Fest, August 30.
August
Yes.
31st.
Be there.
Right.
This episode is brought to you officially by Cutwater,
Cutwater.
the
Hell yeah.
official drink of Static.
Oh yeah. So that was yeah. Hell yeah.
Bye.
Water logo, but with Static.
Sure. See y'all later.